somebody put a hole in the bottom with a rock.
But why?
They probably found out who broke their still. Should never have gone in that cave.
If we stop them making any more grog, doesn't that matter more than the boat?
I knew bad things had happened.
But this is Doomy, not the Tapu.
Anyway, you haven't stopped them. He'll make another still.
Morning.
Mabel? Sid? Any news from the Land Court?
None at all.
Interesting to see who wins.
Will it?
Oh, well, of course, I hope that Patrick's successful.
Well, we'll know soon enough.
Yes, I dare say we will. Now, James, Mabel doesn't seem very confident.
Well, Sir Charles has got the best lawyers in Auckland.
You think he will get title?
It'll be impossible if he doesn't. Charles, nice to have you back with us. How did it all go? Well, I'm pleased to hear it. Come on.
Wasn't even much of a scrap. Dwyer's claim was based on a fistful of bills, bad debts the Maoris owed him. But when the court took a closer look, it seemed all the bills had been incurred since the eruption. Fella didn't have a leg to stand on.
Was Te Puranui there?
No, why should he have been?
Doesn't he claim the land as well?
Samuel's claim would have overturned his, apparently. The fellow was an aristocrat. He told me so before the accident.
You think it was an accident, then?
Of course it was an accident. What else? Black magic?
George Samuels broke the tapu when he sold that land. They found him on the road with a broken neck. Just coincidence, you think?
The buggy probably hit a rut in the road.
Gilfillan says there was no rut or obstacle of any kind.
Have you been talking to Guy Danner again?
Sir Charles, aren't you the slightest bit concerned?
Elizabeth.
Oh, I know you couldn't care less. Just so long as you have the grandest bathhouse in the world to go with the grandest hotel.
Elizabeth. Let her continue.
Can't you see what's happening, Sir Charles? The tapu's been broken, and now a man's dead. Even the land seems to be responding. And you celebrate your title as if nothing had happened.
Even the land seems to be responding. What is your wife talking about, Gregory?
Elizabeth, I never thought I'd hear the day when you believed in superstition.
Hardly superstition. Mrs. Gregory is referring to a critical increase in thermal activity.
Which has occurred since you broke the tapu.
Elizabeth.
Let her believe what she wants to, James. It makes no difference to me.
If you'll excuse me.
Well, what do you think, Emily?
Me, Sir Charles? Oh, I think it's all terribly exciting.
I think I could have married a draper.
It may not all be lost. He said that he reserved his decision.
In case someone made a better claim. If they don't, it's Sir Charles's.
Well, there you are.
Oh, are we now?
Occupation.
What?
Occupation. The strongest claim under the Act.
What are you talking about, Gordon?
I've studied the Act, you know. Any land occupied permanently belongs of right to the occupier.
Oh, very helpful. Very helpful, Sergeant. And who's in occupation?
No one. Yet.
You mean?
The strongest claim under the Act.
Help yourself to another drink.
Oh, thanks very much, Mrs. Dwyer.
Occupation. Isn't that interesting, Patrick?
Hey, look over there. Where? On the tapu land. I wonder what they're doing.
Now, you've plenty of clothes, plenty of food, and plenty of tea for the billy. And if Sir Charles tries to move you off, tell him he's no right.
We can't stay up here day and night. I need it at the shop.
Don't worry about that. We'll manage.
Yeah, we'll manage fine.
Gilfillan doesn't know what he's talking about.
He's a policeman, isn't he?
I don't know. I still don't think he's right.
We can manage at the shop.
Just sit down and don't budge for anyone. Go on. We'll see what happens.
Just sitting there, you
Yes,
say?
Sir Charles. He's built some sort of shelter. Looks like he's planning to stay for a while.
I thought he'd do something stupid. Did you ask him why he was there?
No. Him was with us, and he never goes near the land.
Afraid of disappearing in a puff of smoke. Superstition all around me, even the children. You are not afraid as well?
I don't know. I didn't used to worry.
Something happened to change your mind? You're as bad as Sarah Jane. Now, I won't have you putting ideas into her head.
But I haven't.
I've only just convinced her that what happened to Samuels was an accident. Nothing more, nothing less.
Yes, Sir Charles.
I'd have credited you with more sense, boy, than to believe in Maori magic. Well, go and get Gilfillan. Somebody's on my land and I want him shifted.
Yes, Sir Charles.
Sir Charles, it's just arrived in the post.
Sketch plans. Rushworthy is not wasting any time. Neither am I, my girl. Neither am I.
You wanted to see me, Sir Charles?
Yes, Gilfillan, I did. Take a look at these. What do you think?
Oh, impressive. Most impressive.
Imagine it, man. At the head of the lake. The view will be magnificent.
Yes.
Court case is over. The sketch plans are finished. I'll be having it surveyed next week.
Oh, well, things are progressing nicely. Good.
Except for one thing.
Huh?
Dwyer.
Dwyer?
He's up there squatting on the land. I want you to move him off.
Well, it may not be that easy, Sir Charles.
It's private property. He's trespassing.
Well, according to what Dwyer told me, and, well, of course, he could be lying. According to Dwyer, he said that your title's only provisional.
So?
Subject to the lodgement of a better claim.
So what if it is?
Well, until it is finalised, I can't move him off.
The damn fool thinks he can claim it by occupation.
Oh, is that what it is?
It's years before that's relevant, not a matter of days. If you ask me, he's been talking to some idiot bush lawyer. When he finds out the truth, he won't be amused.
I shouldn't think he would.
What
did you think he'd do? Turn you into a toad?
Why don't you go and sit up there?
And who'd look after the shop? A pretty mess we'd be in if I left it to you two. You wouldn't even hide the still without somebody stumbling over it.
Those kids won't do it again.
How'd you know it was the kids? It could be them Maoris that left the hut. You could count your lucky stars. You haven't been found out. It's a wonder the whole town doesn't know what you're up to. Who are those men?
I don't know. I never seen them before.
My name's Finlay. This is Agent Davies. We're from Customs and Excise.
Well, now, gentlemen, I'm pleased to meet you. Can I get you a cup of tea?
No thanks, Sergeant. We'll state our business. We were wondering if you'd had any response to that reward notice out there.
No. No, nothing at all.
That's strange.
Is it?
We've reason to believe there's a still in the area.
Oh, I wouldn't know about that. I've got my hands full with these tourists.
No, we heard it was fairly common knowledge.
Oh, who told you that?
The Maoris.
They would. What I mean is, I tell you anything.
It's a very serious problem, Sergeant. One which I wouldn't minimize.
What are you suggesting?
Not suggesting anything. But this area has been mentioned more than once.
What can you tell us about Patrick Dwyer?
What do you want to know?
We believe he could be involved.
Now, look. Dwyer's a bit of a strange one, I'll admit, but he hasn't got enough brains to be a criminal. And what's more, I've known him for a long time.
That doesn't seem much of a reason to rule him out.
Are you suggesting I don't know my job?
We'd like to see him, just the same.
Oh, it's your time you're wasting.
Whatever they ask, you know nothing.
Yes, Mrs.
You've seen nothing, heard nothing, done nothing. Just act dumb.
Yes, Mrs. Dwyer.
It shouldn't be difficult. And leave the talking to me and Patrick.
In fact, just leave the talking to me.
Here they come. That's very good. Keep it up. Oh, don't just sit there. Fetch the doctor. Go on. Oh, Sergeant! Sergeant! It's my husband! He's had a heart attack! It's Patrick! He's had a heart attack!
Oh, well, it wasn't a heart attack anyway.
Then for pity's sake, Doctor, what?
I'm sorry, Mrs. Dwyer. I'm afraid I don't know.
What do you mean you don't know?
Well, he looks perfectly healthy to me.
But look at him, he's dead to the world. Oh, merciful mother.
Perhaps he's been working too hard.
Have you tried jabbing him with a pin?
What are you suggesting?
Just that it's a little convenient that he collapses the very moment we want to talk to him.
It's a very simple test, I assure you.
No, I'll not allow it. It's inhuman.
It won't do any harm, I assure you.
At least it'll clear the air.
Yeah, of course, now that he knows what's happening.
There now. You're satisfied?
Perhaps a little harder?
No, I won't allow it. You've had your test. Now go. And if that's all the respect you show for the ill and the dying, you shouldn't be allowed to practice.
Don't tell me you haven't heard anything. Is this laddie dumb?
In a manner of speaking.
I'll speak with you later. How's the patient?
Oh, difficult to say.
Do you think he's acting?
There's a pretty good chance.
Here we jabbed him with a needle.
If you were facing a jail sentence, would you let a pinprick bother you?
Well, it could be something else.
Like what?
Well, Dwyer spent most of the morning on the land at the head of the lake.
So?
Well, it's supposed to be tar poo.
You don't think he's fallen into some kind of curse, do you?
Oh, no, I don't believe in it myself, but, well, for the last hour or so, he's been involved in a battle of wits with the old tow-hanger up there.
And you think he's put a spell on him?
Stranger things have happened.
Oh, you mean like an undetected still?
We'd better keep an eye on him. We'll take 8-hour watches, around the clock.
You mean you, Will? He's your suspect.
We'd appreciate your help, Gilfillan. We've got other inquiries to make.
And I've got other duties.
I hope we're not getting the impression that you're more interested in helping Dwyer than you are in helping us.
What do you mean?
Oh, it's just that so far there's not a lot we can put in our report that speaks very well of the local sergeant.
We'd like you to take the night shift.
A lot of song and dance about nothing.
Good. We're grateful for your help. You can relieve Agent Davies at 8.
You look silly if it's the wrong man.
We'll take that chance.
Jimmy Dwyer. He's collapsed. What do you mean? Well, some excise agents came to question him and he just fell down. First they thought he was kidding, but they jabbed him with some needles and he still wouldn't wake. Then perhaps he really is sick. I wonder why. You're not thinking what I'm thinking.
The tapu?
Well, he did go into the land. And we went into the cave.
Kitty, wait, there's nothing to be afraid of.
Is there? I don't know. Grandfather had a talk with me last night. He got really angry when I mentioned the tapu and what had happened to Mr. Samuels. He said if I kept having silly ideas like that, he wouldn't let me play with Hammer and Kitty. He said we were civilized, and civilized people didn't believe in such things. Yeah, that's what Father would say. Tom, have you ever broken a tapu before? I don't know. Don't think so. What do you think will happen? Well, we smashed the stool. That's got to count for something. I hope you're right. I think it's time we told someone what we did.
You what?
We went into the old burial cave. We saw Doomy and Sid go in there, in a boat.
Doomy?
Mr. Dwyer. Well, we found a still and smashed it.
Oh, yeah. Of course you did.
And you've told no one about this until now?
No,
And why was that?
the cave's tapu.
The Maoris will be in an uproar.
Is that all you can say?
It's not the first pack of lies they've sold me.
It's the truth, Sergeant. Honest.
Do you know that they tried to frame Dwyer with a sack of barley that they planted?
We saw him with that load of barley, and Captain Bloom as well. But we knew you wouldn't believe us.
You bet I wouldn't.
Why don't you believe these children, Sergeant?
Because of a lack of material evidence.
Oh, you stupid man. Why would we make it up?
Well, there's one easy way to settle it. We'll take a look at this cave. That's if you've no objection.
Well, just don't pin your hopes too high.
It's difficult to approve of what you did. You should not have gone to that cave. But, under the circumstances, it would be ungenerous not to admit that we all feel very proud. Now, I've had a note from the excisemen, and they tell me that you can expect, provided what you told them leads to a prosecution, you can expect a reward. Now, whether or not that'll be the full £25, they were not prepared to say.
Hey, why not the full reward?
Tom, is there any more news about Mr. Dwyer?
I'd have thought that was obvious.
You think he was shamming?
Either that or the man fainted. You know, I had a butler once who used to steal my whiskey, and when I accused him, the fellow was struck dumb. I wouldn't be at all surprised if he and Dwyer weren't related. Still, makes a change from all this tapu rubbish, doesn't it? Give the man credit for that. If the judge is keen on theatre, he'll probably get a remission.
Damn Gilfillan. He's still out there. But I doubt if he'll come inside. It'd be safe for you to stretch your legs, I think.
Are you listening, Patrick? If you stay like that, you'll get a cramp in your neck. Don't tell me he's fallen asleep. Listen to me, Patrick. Wake up and stretch your legs. All right, Patrick, you've had your little joke. It's been very convincing. Patrick, wake up! Merciful Mother. Oh, Gilfillan! 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 What did you say? There's the doctor.
What?
Well, don't just stand there.
Don't panic, babe. Now, whatever you do, don't panic. Just... Oh, yeah.
You're doing this just to vex me.
Oh, Patrick, you're cured.
Patrick?
Oh, what's the matter?
Patrick, what you doing? What? Patrick! Where are you going? Patrick, what's it? Oh, Patrick! Oh, Patrick! Wait! Patrick, where are you going? Oh, Patrick! Sydney! Sydney! Oh, quick! It's Patrick! Bring him back! Bring him back! I think Tom and the others will be all right. They did right to break the still.
Yes, but Doomy broke the tapu too. And look what happened to him.
The spirits are not blind, Hemma. They can see the difference.
And we all went to the buried village.
You said you didn't want to go. Perhaps you didn't have a choice. Don't worry. I'll read you Tamati's letter. He's arrived in South Africa. Mr. Dwyer, you gave me a fright. Mr. Dwyer! Mr. Dwyer! There. You'll be all right.
Mr. Dwyer! Hemma! You seen Doomy? Yes. Which way do you go? That way. Mr. Dwyer!
Mr. Dwyer! Gilfillan! They played you for a fool, Gilfillan. You shouldn't have left your post.
Well, he can't have got very far.
He looks so strange, like in a trance.
Another piece of play acting, no doubt.
Mr. Dwyer!
Mr. Dwyer! Mr. Dwyer! Mr. Dwyer! Doomy!
Yes!
You boys should be in bed.
Let's go look over there.
Dwyer! Dwyer!
Davy! Look!
Christopher?
You boys better get back home.
Dad!
Home.
The sight of Doomy's head and his last few steps to oblivion was enough to chill the blood. I'll confess, we even felt sorry for him as we took the shortcut home behind the butchery. But if we thought our night of horror was over, well, we had another thing coming.
What's he doing? I don't know. Burying something. It's a mighty big hole. Wonder what he's up to. It's a grave.